Morning all, time to give the flying banana a bit of an airing. And nope, that's not a euphemism. And welcome on board everybody! Just passed a sign there saying very dangerous bends. That's exactly why I'm here. Thank you! I can never resist a spin out on this beautiful machine. Don't get out on it too often, especially over the summer months there, when a bike like this should have come into its own. But we've had, I think, the wettest summer on records here in Ireland. In fact, in typical Irish fashion, it's just starting to sprinkle now. I'll just wipe the lens actually, set this bike into cruise control. It's very handy having cruise control when you live in Ireland, just to wipe your camera lens. Anyway, I'm afraid I'm starting today's video with a little bit of sad news, and it's with much regret that I've had to knock the ice cream challenge on the head. I've only done 4 videos. I was trying to do 10. Let's see where my sat-nav is. But as a result of the wet summer, the ice cream shops have basically taken their ice cream off the market and shut down the machines, which is such a shame. I do feel out of the 4 I've done, it wouldn't have been a fair competition. But nevertheless, I still will, although not in true style like I wanted to announce a winner. But the winner of the 4 I've done to date is, drumroll please, Pat's Newsagents in King's Court, County Cavan. That ice cream was absolutely exceptional. I scored it a 9 out of 10. The only reason I didn't give it a 10 was because I'd sort of judged it fairly early on, and I needed somewhere to go in case it was going to be bettered. However, out of the 4 I did try, it wasn't bettered. So congratulations to Pat's of King's Court. I will be dropping some sort of certificate in there before the year is out. I think I'm turning right here. Excusez-moi. It's just a shame I couldn't judge 10. However, the good news and the silver lining on every cloud is that my calorific intake is going to be much less. Therefore, I hope to keep the waistline as it is. I really did enjoy doing that. Great crack. But the time ran away with me, and so did the weather. Anyway, back to other pressing things in hand. I'm on my way to Omeath today. It's up in the Cooley Mountains. I've only been there once or twice before, but I don't know if you saw the ride out video for the 10,000 subscribers that I did. When did that go out? Last month, I think, at this stage. We drove past Omeath, and I thought I must pop in there again. I remember I popped in there indeed with Martin, actually one of the subscribers who led the first stage of the ride out on the 10k ride out. I popped in there with him last year, and I thought, yeah, I must revisit it. So it's one of those days today. I've been trapped in the house for the last couple of days doing jobs, DIY stuff, feeding bloody animals. I've got 10 horses, 10 dogs, 4 cats and 4 kids, and they all need to be fed and looked after. Oh yeah, I've got a wife as well. I'll save the best until last. So it's just it gets on top of me too much, it really does. I don't mean the wife, there's another euphemism. Skip over that one. And it just all of the animals, it's just too much for me. We clearly live on a farm. I don't live in a bed sit, okay? Before you start ringing the animal rights people. Did you know? But it does, it's a bit too much, especially when I'm an outdoors type of person. Work is dried up at the moment for a few different reasons. Things are being recommissioned or not being recommissioned in terms of programs which I normally work on until next year now, so things have sort of dried up earlier than expected. So anyway, I always look at that as a great opportunity to get out on a bike, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I don't know where I'm going to go for lunch, but I'm just going to enjoy the time out by myself and speaking to all of you, of course, which is always a great thing to do. I have actually been out a few times of late on the CRF, the 300, without any cameras, just gone out on an evening just to watch the sunset, and you know, on a couple of sort of back roads that I know not too far from where I live, and I find myself talking just like this away to myself. Now, as long as I can sort of contain that to being on board two wheels, it's not a problem, but if I'm out in public and I start doing it, then it's going to be a huge problem. Anyway, look at this. This is what I need. This is like my medicine. I'm sure if you're a biker yourself, you know exactly what I mean. And you know, I only need an hour of this. It fixes everything. Go back home like a new man. My God, this bike, I keep forgetting how much pull it's got. That was in 5th gear. And I won't tell you the speed I got up to there. But I did pull away from 60 up to ridiculous in 5th gear. And there's still another gear to go. And that's another part of my medicine. Obviously doing that on an open road rather than a back road. Normally I'd have 2 cameras on board today, but because this was an impromptu spin out rather than a set timetabled thing on my diary, I only had 1 battery charged. It's a cameraman's sin, that. Absolute sin. Should always keep my batteries fully charged. On that note, I'm hoping I can get everything I need on the 1 battery. Just looking at the level there now. The batteries on these DJI Osmo Action cameras are fantastic. Actually, bit of camera talk on that note. I am not moving to the Osmo Action 4 anytime soon. For the simple reason, well, yes, it's a brilliant camera and it is slightly improved over this Osmo Action 3, which I'm using now. But it's got a faster chip in it, which is better in low light. I don't ride motorbikes in low light. So I've no need for that, and it's another 420 or 30 euro, which I just don't need to be spending, I'll be honest. And the filters that I've got don't fit on that lens because it's a different diameter. And talking about cameras, I've just had to stop after chatting about the cameras there because the sun was getting a bit too bright, so I had to stop and put the ND4 filter on. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I had the Action 4. Well, not unless I'd bought a new set of filters. And at this current time, the filters aren't out. I'm sure they'll be out soon. Little bit of bike chat here. I was reading in the motorcycle news recently that the sports tourers, well, the 1 litre version, are back with a bang. They've sold up to 40% more. I think it was 38%. Was the actual figure, more on last year, the 1 litre sports tourers. And it's funny because one of the bikes I really fancied this summer was the Kawasaki, the Ninja 1000 SX sports tourer, with the panniers and the Akrapovic exhaust, the heated grips, you know, cruise control, the whole thing, the whole shebang. I went to look at a couple. I just couldn't do a deal on the bikes that I was trading in. Actually, I don't mind saying this was one of the bikes I was going to trade in towards Kawasaki 1000 SX. I fancy something a little bit more upright. As you know, I'm always saying about this bike, you know, I just haven't got a place for it, and then I come out and ride it and think, God, I'm never selling it because it's fabulous. And it really is a fabulous bike. I mean, I'm 53 years old, alright, and I do like going off, as you know, for the day and for a few days, and sports touring, and well, also the BMW style of adventure bike. Even though I would never go off road on another GS, so I don't use it to go adventuring. But it's just that upright position and that luxury sort of riding that I do feel as though I want to improve on. Mind you, like I say, then I come out for a spin like this today, and I mean, I don't feel any pressure on the wrists with this bike. And last year I rode it for about 7 hours in one day, just to prove that point and to see if it was gonna give me any stress on the wrists. I think I'm going left here. Very good. Looks like we might be getting into some nice scenery here. But yeah, you know, I'm always toying. I'm sure it's not just me. I'm always toying with shifting bikes around and changing bikes and whatever else, you know. I just want a newer one, like us all. Listen, I'm not going to make excuses at this stage. You all know what I'm like if you've been following me for a while. Newly fangled with different things. The other bike I love, of course, and I've always had a penchant for these, is the Street Triple. I'd love the new one, the RS version. I love those two colours that the RS, and only the RS, comes in. That sort of ruby red and colour not dissimilar to this, funny enough. And I'm always wondering, well, which bikes could I trade in? Actually, I put 3 bikes up for sale on over the summer. Put this up for sale. Oh, Jesus. Thought that dog was over there. I put this up for sale. I put the CRF 300 up for sale, and I put the Royal Enfield, the Continental GT, up for sale. Not one call, apart from time wasteless. Not one serious call or offer. All time wasters, and I just had enough. So if I'm going to shift any bikes on, I know I'll take a bigger hit, but I'll just trade in. I really can't be bothered with all that crack. I had people ringing me and texting me at 10 o'clock at night asking me what the seat height was on the CRF. For God's sake, Google it. And then being offered stupid money, you know. I haven't got time for that crack. And then you'd wonder who you were letting up to your house and, you know, seeing the lie of the land where your bikes are and all that. So I've gone off that idea a bit. And then I suppose I don't really want to sell any of them. I just want new bikes all the time, and I would just want to try out other bikes. But as I've already said a few times on my videos, I don't have access to sort of ride bikes and get it out in my system. Mega Bikes have been very good to me in Dublin, and they've loaned me bikes whenever I really want to get out on something different and do a review. But they're the only sort of dealership that I do stuff like that with. And you see, we don't have manufacturers based here in Ireland, so I can't get a bike delivered to me for a month by, say, Triumph to test out the Speed Triple or anything like that. Still, I'm not too badly off. And I keep telling my wife, that's why I need 5 motorbikes, darling. You see, got to keep the channel interesting, otherwise nobody would watch. That's what I tell her anyway. This is lovely, isn't it? Meath is the place we're heading to. Looks really nice, the scenery. Anyway, like I said, I only have that one battery, so I should probably probably save the power until I get to my next stop. Of course, every time I say I'll cut the battery, I then come into vistas like this and think, no, I have to show you this. Beautiful. Cooley Mountains, folks. Head up there. Actually, not too far from where I am, there's something called the Long Woman's Grave. Put that into your sat-nav. It's a great point to visit. I won't go over it again because I've already done a video about it. But these roads are just fantastic. I'm getting peckish, alright. Hope there's a nice calf there. And my sat-nav hasn't caught up. I did follow a road sign at the top of this road saying Omeath. Still, it's all part of the adventure, isn't it? As I'm always saying. Oh, loose gravel there. Don't fancy slipping on that. Just got a twitch. There really is some great torque in this machine. Actually, that's one of the reasons the sales of litre sports bike did drop off when bikes like this came out, and the 200, and the torque, and well, basically therefore the fun is down low. You know, you don't need to go up to stupid speeds or stupid revs to get the best out of the bike. Anywhere around 6,000 on a bike like this is just brilliant fun, and the pull it has is unreal. I really haven't a clue where I'm going, but I want to go over there. I like that scenery there. Wow. And here we are, as if by magic. Just arrived in Omeath. A few more people about today. Look at that gorgeous looking shop. It's a real old-fashioned shop, isn't it? However, it's not a shop selling fishing nets that I want at the minute. It's a cafe or a restaurant selling a nice lunch. Cafe Rosa, open 7 days a week. I've been here before. I know I have. I wonder if I can just slip it in behind that car there. Okay. Let's have a little look down here first. It's very pretty, isn't it? This is beautiful. Woohoo! Result. Wow. It's really nice. I might just park up here and walk up the street. That was the result, folks. It was delicious. I had this Smoky Joe ciabatta and a flat white coffee, all for €14. Very reasonable priced. Tasted beautiful. The place inside was very small, so if there's a few of you, you might be sitting down on the harbour part where I parked the bike up. I decided to sit in after all, only because a little rain shower came over. And I was only half an hour in there, but yeah, great little ride out. So that was Cafe Rosas in Omeath. If you're heading up that part of the world, pop in there. Great coffee. Right, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that little spin out and those few little news updates. I hope you know what's going on inside my head at the minute. Too many bikes to choose from. And that's probably where I'll end this week's video. So thanks a million for coming along for the spin. Great to have you along as always. Have a great week, everybody. Ride safe, be good. See you 8 o'clock next Saturday morning on YouTube for another video. Dave Perry, Wheelie Good TV, over and out.